Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder.
And today we are so pleased to be joined by the host of the Get Real podcast, our friend,
Max Fox.
Hello,
What's
Max.
up?
How are you, bud?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Man, of course. All right, so I looked at the podcast a little bit. It is called the ESPN of reality dating shows.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were going for.
Amazing concept.
Which is the end of that tagline. It's ... We're working on it.
So it's pardon the interruption, but for Fuckboy Islands.
Yeah,
kind of.
it was for, it's like, have you guys seen Pardon the Interruption?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I
Sure.
wanted to do that with like reality dating shows. So it's like just argue about like bullet points.
Yeah, I love that.
But that show works because they have like video playing and they have like, I don't know.
Graphics.
Like, graphics, yeah, graphics, and they've
got
like,
a big
they've done it before.
Yeah.
And so we kind of just like talk now because it's a lot. It just works better. So one day when we have like a budget, maybe that'll be a thing. But I do want to keep it there because it is a lie, but it is interesting.
Yeah, no, I love the concept. And your co-host, of course, friend of the show, one of the most delightful people on the planet, Andy Erickson.
Yeah.
So that's fucking rad, man. What's the wildest dating show at the moment?
Fuckboy Island.
Is it? I mean, it kind of has to be, right?
I really do like reality dating shows. Fuckboy Island is the
They're
best
funny.
one. It's fun to watch. It's like when there's like an accident on the side of the road and you just slow down and look at it.
Sure.
And you're just like, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah.
And it's not me.
Mine was for years, and it's not a dating show necessarily, but Bad Girls Club.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so I shout out to.
That's not. This isn't in the same category.
It's
at all.
well, they're dating constantly, but also it's like, you know how every season of Real World has one person who's just like an absolute psycho.
Yeah, I mean,
It's 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah,
in one
the
house.
whole
The whole
I
cast.
think it's like the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
it's
and they just feed them alcohol and watch them slap box each other.
it's incredible. Yeah,
That's all. When was that?
it was. Well,
It was probably like
like,
2008 or
late- yeah.
something.
that was
yeah.
like with the early MTV like
Yeah, it was
Next
on
and
VH1.
stuff.
I
No, it wasn't. It was
Oh.
on a much funnier channel, Oxygen, which was originally
wow.
conceived as a feminist woman's network. And then
The
it's-
women's channel.
And then it's like here, and in
And
a
so
way,
they were all women.
yeah. Oh, it was Bad Girls
Okay.
Club. It was all
Right,
women.
Bad Girl. Okay.
Yeah, and
That
but
sounds awesome.
in a
to be
way,
honest.
it is very radically feminist because it's like,
Yeah.
hey, these are the worst people you've ever seen, and they're all women.
Right.
It's not just men that are the worst people in the world.
Women also were terrible.
Yeah, it's true
It'd be weird if a
equality.
guy created that show.
No, they did. It was the guy from the Real World, Jonathan. What's his fuck Murray or something?
No, I have no idea what
I
that is.
believe it's Jonathan Murray is the guy's name who created
Okay.
both. But yeah, there was a woman, Natalie.
Natalie.
Who, her thing was when she would get drunk, she would just start screaming, "I run LA." And I've been here for 12 years. I haven't seen her yet, so I don't.
That's the funniest thing in the world.
You better be able to get in here.
Are you kidding me? I run LA. 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 I run LA.
She will never, ever run LA or be anything of any substance.
It'd be funny if like I did that. Just someone who clearly doesn't run LA.
Or if Karen Bass did that on TV, just got shit-faced. I run LA.
It's
so funny.
Yeah, she runs her own neighborhood at least.
Yeah.
She's not,
this cul-de-sac.
She's not lying about at least a part of it. I feel like.
Valley Village has to be, just
She runs a gated community.
yeah.
It's badass.
Oh man, we're gonna start this one off with our ungodly concoction, boys, and this one I found at Sprouts. You ever fuck with Sprouts?
Not
Been
in a
there.
while.
I've
Been there.
ordered on Instacart.
Yeah.
But never been inside.
Well, as I said on the show, Sprouts is the place where they have interesting vegetables.
What does that mean?
If you need okra or like an heirloom
Okay.
green tomato, something like that, non-standard issue fruits and vegetables.
It's like Whole Foods, but it's less like pretentious. It feels like it's a little more hippie.
Yeah,
Okay.
very much so.
All right.
And their energy drink selection we talked about, they had one called Don't Quit that we talked about a couple weeks ago. That was actually Brooklyn boy
Right.
Jake Steinfeld, Body by Jake, created Don't Quit. But this one, I spent probably half an hour this morning just trying to figure out where this came from and Who owns the goddamn company?
Okay.
This is a company called NOCCO, which stands for No Carb Company. And Max, go ahead and tell the people what the
no carb company. There's another letter.
tell the people the name of that flavor.
Juicy Breeze.
That's right, juicy. Just because you're
Juicy. It's a breeze, and it's 200 milligrams of caffeine.
Hell yeah, bro.
Dude, this is wild.
I figure, you're a Brooklyn guy, and of course,
this is what we drank.
Notorious
back in Brooklyn.
hey, Notorious B.I.G.
Reminds me of Yonkers for sure.
This is what old New York was about.
No, I was just thinking Notorious B.I.G., the song Juicy. You know?
Yeah.
That song.
This is what he was talking
That
about.
song, by the way. The songs and memories of Christopher Wallace, they fly
Yeah.
through the breeze there
This
in
is
Brooklyn.
wild.
So,
This is wild. This is so stupid.
yeah, NOCCO stands for No Carbs Company. They're based out of Stockholm in Sweden.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh, fancy.
And-
There's no
More.
sugar in it, so it's good for you.
So the website,
Wow, that's a great point.
Yeah, you could drink a bunch of
That's
these.
the only thing that I consider when thinking about my health. So
Yeah, you will get healthier if you drink a bunch.
So the website says that NOCCO is tasty and functional, and it's the most
Bare minimum.
the most Swedish shit ever. This is also
Utilitarian.
Yeah.
this is also how you would describe IKEA
like
furniture.
IKEA furniture, yeah.
Bingo.
This is useful.
It's tasty, functional, developed by the Swedish health and exercise-oriented enterprise No Carb Company in 2014, and it's got branched chain amino acids,
Those are good.
BCAAs.
Good for muscle repair.
That's what they say.
Amino, you say? Ooh.
Wait, did you say amino acid?
Yeah, that's what
Shit.
that's what the AA is in BCAA. It's amino acids.
It's not Alcoholics Anonymous.
That's their claim.
Yeah.
There is nothing scientific to back up that claim at all. You get BCAAs because I was like, where would this come from normally that you would need to supplement it? And it turns out it's meat, fish, eggs, milk, poultry,
Yeah.
and a combination of certain vegetables. So
Yeah.
basically everything has this shit in it. And the article that I read about BCAAs was like, your body gets enough. It's fine.
That's so funny.
So
There's so many pre-workout supplements that are like, we got tons of BCAAs.
Oh,
You'll
dude.
die if you don't do our thing.
That's totally the energy drink thing. It's
Yeah.
like we offer all these things. You always look them up online, and they're either just a thing that's like could barely exist in your body, and you'd live perfectly healthy forever.
yeah.
Or something that if you look it up, you're like, it says do not have too much of this,
yeah.
and then you look at the can and it's too much. you know?
It's,
like I said, because I always like to look up the CEOs because generally speaking, the CEOs of energy drink companies are all insane or evil or both. This guy, Jonas Peterson, owns the company Vitamin Well, which is the
this
mother
is so
company.
European.
And the only piece of information that I could find out about him is that at some point he was a lawyer. And now he's like, and this, as far as market share goes, has at least is on sort of the same level as Monster
Nice.
and Red Bull in Sweden.
I trust everything you've
really?
said about that guy.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to drink this a lot more.
Yeah.
I thought this was some like bottom shelf knockoff.
No,
they
man.
couldn't even sell it in Sweden, but they knew American pigs would slop it up.
No one wants our juice.
I looked it up on Urban Dictionary because I was just coming up with nothing. This is like such a mystery fucking organization. So they did have a thing on Urban Dictionary. It was like, this is for men with no personality. Was
do you
what
mean?
it said. It said NOCCO is for people who like snooze and do not have a personality, which is another Scandinavian thing. Spitless tobacco.
So it's like Rockstar, like Monster, where it's like you're a douchebag.
I think
if you
it's
like.
it's like douchebag, but then skews like more jock a little bit.
So
I
do
think.
you think people like have tattoos of this logo like they do with the Monster logo and stuff?
The logo is so it just looks like the back of like a Letterman jacket. It's so
it's not,
nothing.
like, interesting at all.
Yeah, the only thing that's interesting is it's called Juicy Breeze.
Juicy
So-
Breeze. Juicy Breeze is more confusing than it is interesting.
but it does just sound like a rough translation. Like it probably sounds amazing in the original Swedish, but
yeah.
and shout out to Anders in our Discord. Please tell us if this is a thing you've had before. I was very pleasantly surprised to find it was from Sweden. So now I need to know what's
I'm
the
so amped.
what's the deal on it. But but let's get this juicy ass party started, fellas.
I mean, Swedish meatballs are like legit. So
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
I'm on board.
They at
with-
least have one thing going on. We
I'm
can guarantee
sold.
that there's probably another based on just general
Meatballs,
logic.
A plus. Everything else unknown.
All right, this is everybody's favorite part of the show. Please hold.
Oh, nice.
My brother lives in Sweden.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
That's a funny thing
I
to say
should
while
ask
someone's
him.
screaming over you.
I should ask him. I don't think he doesn't drink shit like this.
No.
So,
No.
yeah.
He's not cool.
No.
Oh, loser.
All right, let's give it a try, everybody. It's
right.
not that fizzy, which is sort of concerning. Cheers,
Yeah, it looks fizzy.
cheers,
I see
gentlemen. I don't-
bubbles.
Cheers.
All right.
It smells like peach.
Oh,
Doesn't taste horrible.
it's not the worst. I actually
It
don't mind
tastes like
this.
the peach ring. It's fine. I like this.
Tastes like sour peach, industrial peach. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the fake peach ring candies with the little sugar
Yeah,
on
the,
top?
the Sathers. that
That's
you
what
get at
they
the gas
taste like.
station.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, I don't
I've
mind this at all.
tasted way worse like energy drinks.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. This is
absolutely.
like
And especially considering the caffeine content, which is
200.
200 mgs. That's that's like
Yeah.
the high end of the scale for most commercially available American
probably in
energy drinks.
Sweden. That probably is the limit.
It's
huh?
180 in Sweden. They
Whoa.
jacked it up another
Wow.
20 mgs for
These
the
guys are
American market.
outlaws.
Yeah,
wow.
they don't let them go above 180 in Sweden.
Salute.
Apparently, yeah.
Salute. Stay up.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know how to say cheers in Swedish, but
They have awesome
Cheers.
prisons. I will say that about the Swedish.
what's that?
They have cool prisons where it's like really like nice.
Yeah, they have
yeah.
a fucking Xbox prison.
Yeah,
in
it's
Sweden.
like prison looks great.
Wait, what is an Xbox prison?
Where they fucking play Xbox all
Oh,
day.
yeah.
They
Oh, okay.
like give them shit to do.
Yeah, they give them like nice quarters too. Where it's like,
well, I think they have to earn it. They're not allowed to murder people and still play Xbox. But
Yeah,
I don't think. Also, when you go to prison, you can't play any violent, like anything with shooting. So they're like in there playing
just a-
racing
I was
games.
about to say it's just
Yeah.
a bunch of hard ass dudes playing Kirby.
yeah,
No, even they wouldn't have Kirby because
No, that
Kirby
guy-
has fighting in it.
he turns into a brick and then kills people.
Yeah, you can be the guy who punches.
Yeah, you can
And
murder.
that might hype people up too much.
Yeah,
So it really
Yeah.
runs. It really, you're diminished on the amount of games you. It's guys
Yeah.
who can jump onto different
Sure.
platforms.
Okay.
That's the games.
Can't
you
even
can
think
play
of a
in
single
prison.
game that doesn't involve death.
No, none of the
only
fun
the
ones.
shitty ones. Yeah.
well, Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's true. You can throw a shell though.
I think people die and then come
Yeah,
back.
in prison, if they got their hands on a shell, you
Yeah.
know what they could do to a
fucking
motherfucker
shank
with that?
you.
Oh yeah, 3 mushrooms or a banana.
Ooh,
Man,
that's
you will die.
that's worth a lot of cigarettes in jail. A banana.
Yeah. Commissary in Swedish prison.
So I found a website called Best in Sweden, and they say that, quote, the flavor is very uplifting with the crisp taste of zesty candy.
I guess, but there's also like a weird aftertaste.
You think so? I'm
I-
not getting it, but I have energy drinks so much.
Oh, really? Oh, you're like immune.
Yeah, totally. Same.
Yeah.
But
It's
then,
like alcoholics when they drink something really
Yeah.
alcoholic that everyone was just like, this is fucking gasoline.
Yes, it's water.
No, I taste the hints of raspberry.
Yeah, my buds have been destroyed.
he goes on to say, it makes me real proud of being part of this concept that promotes the very best. A brand that cares for you and takes you to the next level.
All right.
And I was
mean,
this guy sounds like he's been brainwashed and now he's starting to identify with his kidnappers. I wish there was a name
Stockholm
for
syndrome.
this syndrome. But anyway, this drink from Stockholm is lovely.
Nice.
But, yeah. Also, I found out NOCCO, it was like they, the NOCCO God giveth and the NOCCO God taketh away. They make ice cream, NOCCO ice cream.
Oh.
But it doesn't have any fucking caffeine in it.
Well, that's probably good.
No,
I mean that's just a little disappointing. Like,
That's amazing. Why
can you
else would
imagine
you
if
do it?
Monster made ice cream
Why
and it
would
wasn't
you do
energy?
it, though? It'd just give you diarrhea.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
The love of the game.
Love the game, baby.
Start your diarrhea up with just straight ice cream. Oh, God.
Okay, then
That's so
sorbet, non-dairy, something.
Yeah.
Give me
Oh, they do like vegan ice cream. NOCCO makes like
Fuck
vegan
yes.
fucking treats.
Someone would eat it.
I'd eat it.
We had that Korean slushy pouch thing. thing that was
Oh
delicious.
yeah, but that was
What?
delicious.
It was like basically like an otter pop thing, but it had
Okay.
caffeine in it.
and it was in
It tasted good though.
Yeah.
It was in a Capri Sun pouch with a
Okay.
nipple on
Yeah,
it.
but it had
Alright.
well, that was the sad part is it had this like plastic nipple thing, and everybody, it was so delicious. Everybody was just going by the end.
like a little hamster.
Yeah.
A little drinking thing.
That's where I came up with, just having the self-respect to leave the little tiny bit at the bottom. We call
Yeah.
that the dignity cut, and nobody could do
Yeah,
it.
we don't have that here.
No, it's just a cup.
Well, the cup, it's like it's
Wow,
easier
You guys
to.
finished yours.
Oh hell yeah!
Gotta catch
It's easier to access with the cup. It's just a matter of sucking on a plastic nipple until all
I
of
mean,
the.
if you're already sucking on a plastic nipple, like just finish
Yeah.
it, dude. Like,
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not?
No one's gonna be like, "Oh, I was afraid he was gonna finish it."
Yeah,
Like-
you lost your dignity the second you put your mouth
Oh
on it.
man, I still liked him. Then he finished.
I respect him more after seeing that.
After seeing that, will you be the godfather for my children? Like,
Oh, I forgot to give this a grade. By the way, I'm calling NOCCO. You know what,
Oh,
Sweden? I'm giving you 4 stars.
4 for me.
four-
as
four out of
well.
what?
4 out of 5. 4 out of
4.
5.
I'll give 3.5.
3.5.
3.5,
yeah.
Solid. Yeah.
Yeah,
Would
that's
drink
fair.
again. Good taste, good caffeine content.
Yeah.
That's my main
I feel
thing.
like with
So
like,
you're NOCCO or whatever. Is that what they call the cool guys in Sweden?
Knockos.
yeah.
So
NOCCO.
you're a NOCCO.
I saw on Urban Dictionary somebody referred to that it was popular amongst hockey gays.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Probably means hockey guys.
Yeah, maybe. But it was one word. It was one word.
Typo.
It was one word, and then they had a Swedish word next to it in parentheses. So I guess that's a thing you call
Weird.
jocks or something
It's
in
a very
Sweden.
specific like group of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you
like-
gay? Do you play hockey?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is your drink.
This is the drink. Anders, tell us what's the deal with NOCCO. We need to know. I was going to share some of this stuff from this article that was compiled by Nick Thompson for Vice magazine. This is headline: "People share the dumbest ways they've been scammed." So
Okay. All right.
figure we'd share a couple of these and just see if this might be something that you guys might be susceptible to. This one is from Dom, 30 years old in London. "I was looking for a short-term office job. The job advert didn't require any experience and it paid relatively well, but you had to go in person to a really horrible part of Salford to hand in your CV and 20 pounds in cash to process the application, which is never a thing. I dressed quite smart and was a bit nervous for it, thinking it would be an interview. It was these 2 guys who looked like serious petty criminals who had just put on their nicest clothes."
Oh my god.
I was trying to make a good impression and ask them a little bit about the job, and they were really, really shifty. When I shook hands with them, they were really clammy and awkward, and I was just like, this doesn't feel right, but I'd already given them my CV and the $20 note. They didn't have any further questions for me. They were just trying to get me out. They had rented a shit office in a basically empty block, and as soon as I left, I was just like, yeah, that felt very dodgy. I knew I was never going to hear anything from them again."
So he paid to get interviewed?
So, yeah, you had to turn in a processing fee of 20 pounds. Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and he had to drive there to do it. That's a double scam.
Like while you're on your way there, you don't doubt it at all and go back.
Sorry, buddy, they got you.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that.
This is mostly your fault.
It's mostly your fault, but also like these guys rented an office. You would think that you could just approach the landlord and be like, "Hey, can I get
Yeah.
the cell phone of the guys who were doing this criminal front out of your
That's
business?"
so crazy. That's such a I am shocked anybody fell for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they at least got 20 pounds.
Yeah. I don't know what the exchange rate of that is, but
Well, it's
like
It's
35,
like
I don't know.
1.5 to the dollar usually.
All
Give or take post Brexit, it goes up and down. But no, I'm a big fan of renting real estate to do scams for $20. It's kind of
I
amazing.
wonder how many people they got.
Oh, it had.
I bet it was in the threes.
That's the other thing. If they rented a
There's
fucking
no way
office,
multiple people were like,
if they rented a fucking office, just go back the next day.
Yeah, I bet you they were gone.
and beat their ass.
Yeah, of course they're on to the next office.
Yeah, they're on.
They had 3 more
They're on
appointments
to the
set
next
up.
day
Yeah, I guess-
rental fee for an entire office.
Scamming it out of a WeWork.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a scam within the scam. Yes.
I bet you they didn't break even. These guys suck.
Well, they're spending all their money on nice clothes. It sounds like.
Yeah,
This is probably something that you're allowed to do in a Swedish prison. This guy says, when I was about 14,
played video games.
Yeah.
he says, when I was
Take
about
a bath, nice, relaxing.
Take the best bath you've ever had.
with the nicest bath bomb, the most expensive one.
He says, when I was about 14, I was trying to scam EA by pretending that I had been scammed in order to get better players for FIFA Ultimate Team. But then I gave my login details to actual scammers pretending to be EA.
Oh my god.
So that's a snake eating its own tail.
One
here.
kid versus a giant corporation. Like,
But yeah, he was like trying to fuck with EA, and then somebody was pretending to be EA.
He's trying to be like, I paid for these extra players, but never received them.
yeah.
Yes.
And
I
EA
would
is going to be like, that literally never happened.
That is not an option. That's so funny. That does remind me, when I was in college, I used a fake ID to buy alcohol. And then the guy was like, I need another form of ID. And I gave him my real ID. And then he called me McLovin. And I left with no dignity left.
Damn. He
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah, well,
got
yeah.
your ass.
That was so dumb.
I've probably told this on the show, but I had a friend who his brother turned 21 and they looked very similar. And we were all in high school, and his brother gave him his old ID, and he was buying like a tremendous amount of beer for a party at Walmart, and went in with the ID, and he's standing in line, and he's like, man, they're going to really give this like a once over and see that it's expired. I better get something else to distract them. And so he went to the camping section and bought a hatchet.
Whoa.
And so he had 200 beers and a small camping hatchet.
Nice.
And it's Alabama, so they were like, all right, cool, bro, see ya.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, why would
that
they
went
even care?
Yeah.
It's just...
It's like a small threat of a purchase.
Right.
You
I
can go
guess.
to the fucking Walmart and buy a gun.
Yeah, you
and a
can
bunch
get
of
like a
ammo, and they're going to be
shotgun.
like, yeah, later.
With one fucking bullet.
Right, but if the idea is to kind of make your enormous beer purchase blend in with,
Yeah.
Well, there's
with-
literally no item you can buy.
Yeah,
You'd have to
with
buy
beer.
like fucking a
Like,
bunch of
Oh, yeah.
spare rib
Also, like a head of
racks
lettuce because I'm an adult. Like,
well, no, you buy some knee-length socks. You're like, I'm shopping for the old man. You know how it is.
What the
Dad likes to drink a 9,000
Dad loves
beers.
knee-high socks.
He's got knee-high socks. and he
Dad's
drinks.
a hot girl who shops at Hot Topic.
I like the hatchet idea because he probably has some sort of use for a hatchet at some
Yeah, it
point.
is
You're gonna
Alabama,
need to
so-
chop down a tree or
Oh
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, we had
Or threaten a cashier who wants to guard you.
we were drinking at a cow pasture that evening, so we did have a campfire. So I mean,
Nice.
it immediately came in handy, but it was just funny to be like, yes, this will draw less attention
That's
than
so funny.
800 beers.
My friend, when he bought beer, he would wear a Cookie Monster beanie because he was
Oh,
like,
that-
no. If
like-
I was a kid trying to pretend to be an adult, I wouldn't wear this. And,
He's like
yeah,
peacocking. He got
Yeah, he was like double.
That's
yeah.
so smart.
And it worked.
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. That's
Yeah.
so smart.
Just
yeah.
dressed like a
Does he
fucking
work
baby.
at fucking SpaceX now?
He's actually the smartest man in the world, Stephen Hawking.
This one is from Sacramento. A professional-looking gentleman was delivering flat-screen televisions in my neighborhood. As I passed him, he stopped me to tell me about a fantastic deal his company was running on those televisions. Large, high-end flat-screen TVs going for only $200. He opened up the box that he was currently delivering and showed me the TV. I liked the deal so much I agreed to purchase it. He pulled out 2 boxes out of his truck and was even kind enough to place them in my house. He shook my hand and said thank you, and then drove away. I opened one box to swap out my old TV, only to find a very heavy oven door in the box. $400 for 2 oven doors. Surprise!
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's a classic.
The old you wanted to buy stolen property.
Yeah.
trick.
You just bought a car door.
You've seen the guys in the minivans that sell that shit like in,
Yeah.
in
The
grocery store
speakers,
parking
yeah.
lots.
Yeah, My friend's dad bought a speaker system. It was just a bunch of rocks. I was like, your dad's an idiot, man.
I told some guys I didn't want their bullshit speakers, and they're like, well, you're driving a shitty car, and we're driving a nice one. And I was like, okay, I'm also not selling speakers at a gas station.
Yeah, not a con artist.
If we're gonna start comparing our lives, we at least have to go there, right?
It's so funny. You're a fucking loser, man. It's like, yeah, and you're awesome, by the way.
Have you been scammed in any major way?
No, I really haven't. It's amazing I haven't because I'm so gullible, but no. Never. Anytime someone like I buy something off of like eBay or something, I've had people be like, "Oh, you got to pay me in Cash App because like blah blah blah." I'm like, "No."
There was one in here where a guy was looking for a good deal on AirPods and bought it off of some bootleg ass website, and they sent him a gigantic fake AirPod. Like it was like a
like a prop.
like a big
giant.
like an oversized whose line is it anyway sized AirPod, just one.
That's funny. That's at least a scam artist has like a sense of humor about it.
It's the most worthless thing now.
A hot scam online now for video games is people will be like, this game, and then they'll almost have it the same price as like the other used versions, but it's just the box, and then they just write box at
Box
the end.
only. Yeah, I've
after a
seen
really
that.
long title that you can like not read in the preview fully.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
great condition, almost brand new.
Perfect condition.
They almost got me the last time I was at my parents' house. They have their house is kind of shaped like an L, so they have to have like the Wi-Fi extenders to go in the walls.
Okay.
And they were just like fucking up. So my mom was like, "Can you figure out how to fix these?" So I took it out, typed into Google like the model of it, and it was one of those like click now, and they had a phone number. And because I just didn't want to deal with computer stuff, I was like, "Oh, just call it." And the guy basically started being like, "Okay, so you're going to install a program, a small program on your computer." And I was like,
"Oh, no, I'm not."
and like as I was typing in the website to it, I was like, "Wait a minute,
This is one of those scams.
it's one of those goddamn scams." Yeah,
Hold
so
on
I
a
had
second.
to hang up on him, but
Nice.
almost got me real close.
Yeah.
yeah. This last one here, I was 19, backpacking around Southeast Asia with 3 friends. We'd been fairly lucky with our approach to drugs, and we had basically been fine besides buying an actual rock once. Which that's amazing.
What do they think it was?
I guess crack or coke, but they bought just a rock. Yeah. We bought an actual rock once and one massively dangerous incident involving a handgun. So like it's already like you have just contradicted yourself. Like, yeah, it was fine, except
Things are great, except for the handgun.
Pointed a gun in my head. Yeah. We had just arrived at our hostel in Ho Chi Minh City, and my friend got to talking to a squat Vietnamese man on a moped selling weed. His eyes were directionally speaking simply independent of each other. It was so mega
Nice way to do
cross-eyed.
that.
It was a very touristy road, but seemed like such an impossible put on that we figured he couldn't be a policeman.
Solid.
So we all followed him to a quiet street to pick up weed. I guess when we verbally agreed to the deal, the man brandished a laminated ID. We never actually inspected the ID and said, "I'm a cop," but in that kind of made up ersatz American way. He then escorted us one by one to the ATM where we each had to get out $100 to pay him off. I went last, so for some reason I had to pay $200. His eyes somehow then immediately corrected themselves once he revealed it, and I didn't know that was possible.
That's crazy that he was like, also my eyes are not crossed. It's like, oh, no, like when you're robbing people, I don't think you need to like pretend you're cross-eyed. I think
Yeah, but
the gun is enough.
But that's his Cookie Monster hat.
that is
Yeah,
his Cookie
That's his
Monster
Cookie Monster
for
hat.
sure.
It's like, dude, well, this guy couldn't. He's
Yeah.
obviously disabled. He couldn't.
This
be a-
weed must be good as hell. His
Yeah.
eyes are fucked.
Look at what the weed did to him.
Yeah. It was just that powerful.
That's crazy. They were straight up robbed.
Yeah.
Not so much a scam as much as like they got mugged.
Yeah. This is just why you just don't talk to anybody.
Yeah, no.
This is why you don't try to score weed on the street of a foreign country.
Yeah, just don't like. It's crazy that people still try to do that. They're like in the middle of like somewhere, and
Yeah.
they're like, all right, let's try to buy something illegal.
Yeah,
that I'm gonna put into my body.
It's currently season 48 of Locked Up Abroad. People
Yeah.
are still just like, it'll
Yeah.
be chill. No worries. This is actually best case scenario.
This is great. You didn't go to jail.
Yeah. You didn't get weed, but and you lost $200.
They're
but
cracking. I heard in Thailand, I think, or Vietnam, I don't know. One of them, they legalized weed, and now they're cracking back down on it because everybody's getting too loopy off that weed.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. hell.
Yeah, they don't like it anymore.
That's like
It's cutting
That's
down
crazy.
productivity.
I don't know. They're just. I think it was one of those things where they're like, "This will be great for tourism," and then there just started being weed shops.
And they're like,
everywhere.
no, it's
yeah,
not.
exactly. This is
That
great for
sucks.
tourism, and we hate it. You know,
That's so confusing.
But they told all these farmers you could grow weed now, and it was going to
Yeah.
be this huge cash crop. And they're like, "Oh wait, never mind.
Never mind, burn it down, guys.
Yeah.
You're all going to jail.
I already wanted to talk about this, and then Putin killed Alexei Navalny on Friday, so it kind of makes this not quite as fun. But I watched the
Where are you going with this?
There's a lot of fun going on with Putin normally.
Well, there was when he fucking there was.
Threw a sick surprise party or something.
He did a 2-hour-long interview with Tucker Carlson that I watched the whole
right.
thing.
Oh,
and-
wow, you watched
that
that.
wasn't
Yes.
good.
And
That wasn't fun.
That was a propaganda tool.
I wouldn't call that fun.
But that's what is interesting about it. I took a lot of psychic damage. I have to talk about this.
Right.
It was 2 hours, and it was really weird because Tucker Carlson's whole point recently, the reason all these right-wing shitheads are cozying up to this asshole is because he is the guy who, you know, is sort of the symbol of Christian nationalism in Europe, right? So a big thing on Russian television is being like, America and Europe are becoming devilish and cultural wastelands because of LGBT people. Like that's a thing that they harp on Russian television all the time. And
They
so,
have that on American TV too.
no, but in very
the playbook.
specific quadrants of American TV, right? So people who
Yeah.
are partial to right-wing nationalism and specific like Christo-fascism essentially have taken a look at people like Viktor Orban and Vladimir Putin. They're like, oh, this could be our guy. If we could just have a way to rehab his image a little bit, we could maybe, you know, have a guy that we could point to and being like, this is a good way to run the country, right? And like the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, which was based on Hungarian legislation, which was based on Russian legislation. So their shit is already leaking into the dark Floridian corners of our country, thanks to Ron DeSantis and shit
You got to
like
watch
that.
out for these commies.
Yeah, call me crazy. I know no one said this before, but I don't like communists.
And they were really hyping this up on Russian TV. They were like, the greatest journalist in America is coming to talk to our president. Like, as if Tucker Carlson wasn't a guy that got fired by Fox News and is now
Was a guy that anyone respected
on Twitter. And that's where he is, right?
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of Russia is they don't know who the fuck is a journalist outside of Russia.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a
right.
dictatorship. So like they know what they're told.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
They could be like, this is the hottest rapper ever. Here's Macklemore. And Russia would be like, of course. This is great.
here's the hottest rapper ever. It's Tucker Carlson.
Or Ben Shapiro. Remember when he dropped
Shapiro.
that verse?
Oh, yeah. At the beginning of the broadcast, Tucker says, you know, isn't it curious that no Western journalist has even bothered to talk to Vladimir Putin since the Ukrainian war? And you're like,
yeah, dude.
what? No, they have. Literally everyone wants to talk to him. There's a bunch of journalists in jail in Russia that would also love to talk to him.
It's like this is not because no one thought of it.
And the best part is then the Kremlin totally came out and they were just like, no, we've asked lots of people, but all of them are very pro-West. We finally found somebody dumb enough to have this conversation in a way that's going to skew our way. Like they just say the quiet part out loud. No fucking problem now. This is Russia. So that was fun. But the interview itself was incredible because at the beginning, Tucker starts into his questions and Vladimir Putin goes,
Are we having a talk show or a serious conversation?
Thank you. It's a formidable series.
What?
and because Tucker Carlson,
That's heady, dude.
Yeah, yo.
I'm too high to process that, dude.
but because Tucker wants to be taken seriously,
Sure.
he goes,
Yeah.
oh, it's a serious talk. When what happens next, he should have said it's a fucking talk show, because what Tucker wanted to do was to just basically shit on trans people. Like, that was the whole point of doing this.
Okay.
But instead, Vladimir Putin goes, do you want to have a serious conversation? He goes, yeah, obviously. And then Vladimir Putin just proceeded to say a bunch of crazy shit about Ukraine for 2 hours. And they never got to the right-wing bullshit.
Sure.
So, like, one guy is trying to rehab the image of Vladimir Putin to appeal to, like, oinking fucking hogs in Florida in the Midwest. And then meanwhile, the actual dictator of Russia is just like, Poland pissed off Germany. That's why World War II started. An actual thing he said.
That's fine. I like that he thought it was a talk show. Like there was going to be like an animal trainer and like Kesha was going to be on.
You do monologue now.
We do fun Jimmy Fallon games.
You crack egg on head. I send you to labor camp.
Where's Andy Richter?
Bring me his head. So Vladimir Putin is, the whole time he keeps saying things like, well, I've studied you. You studied history, correct? And he goes, yeah. He goes, well, let's talk about Ukraine. And then he goes, in the year 800.
Yeah, I mean, Tucker Carlson is like gets steamrolled all the time.
It's
and
amazing.
Like, Putin just says whatever he wants. He's like a dictator. So like,
and he just starts talking about Russian history going back to the year fucking 800.
Yeah, it's a useless interview. It's just like it's two insane people talking to each other. Basically.
It's amazing, but it's like, man, if you guys just had one of those
podcasts,
no, like
you guys were sponsored by Happy Dad Beer.
Yeah.
Could shoot the shit with Aiden Ross.
If they had just had a pre-show meeting, they could have gotten on the same page.
That would ruin the magic. Of
the magic,
it's
their
like how
chemistry.
Carlson didn't like to talk to the guests before the Tonight Show.
That's why Putin didn't want to do a pre-show.
Yeah.
He wanted to do it like Carlson did it.
Yeah. But basically, he kind of made the estimation that, like, no matter who's the president, the United States policy towards Russia is pretty much going to be unwavering, with maybe the exception of if Trump gets back in there, it'll be a little more favorable. So what he's trying to do is use soft power to kind of get around that and become a man of the people to conservatives of the United States.
I mean, he's not like a fixer-upper house. You're like, yeah, we could do something with this. Like, he's pretty much like solidified.
Yeah, they've tried to convince you your whole life, if you've lived in America, that Russia's bad. Right? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah. Well, they're Bob Vila-ing Vladimir Putin. They're trying to fix up this old house. That is really what's going on. But Putin didn't even.
But then part of me is like, they're also lying about Russia being that bad. They're America. We can't trust what they say about other countries who are bad.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. So people like Tucker and Alex Jones and all these shitheads, they're trying to build him up as the paragon of Christian nationalism. And like I said, it's kind of working. Like, he is.
I'd vote for him.
Yeah, I already voted for him twice last year.
Tucker, all he wants is for Putin to just say that, he had to do a preemptive strike in Ukraine to stop the United States and NATO from, attacking him. And then they can move on to the anti-trans stuff that he wants to do. And then he just never gives them the satisfaction. And then a couple days after it, Vladimir Putin goes on TV and he was like, man, Tucker's a bitch, dude.
Really?
Yeah, like straight up was like, he did not ask me any challenging questions. I was ready for this great interview with this great American journalist, and he didn't give me shit.
Oh yeah, fuck Tucker, man. Everyone hates Tucker, dude. No one likes Tucker Carlson.
And I was thinking, I was like, this is very much like a situation of, the end of Jurassic Park when, the raptors are about to kill someone. Like, they suck, but then the T-Rex shows up.
Yeah.
Like, both of these are negative forces, but I love seeing Tucker getting eaten and thrown across the visitor center.
He sucks so hard.
And that was the plan the whole time, was to go do an interview and then throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
Make him look like...
who's better than the greatest American journalist?
Yeah.
Me, Vladimir Putin.
Your boy. Your boy, Vladdy. The best thing, though, is after he says this, the next thing that Tucker puts out was this weird little like side thing that they shot inside of a Russian grocery store. Did you see this?
No. What?
So he did
we haven't been to
what? You guys don't have you don't have brain disease?
You've been following this more than we have.
You haven't been looking up Russian propaganda.
Why?
You don't have that Google alert? Just Russia as a Google alert.
So the interview comes out. It does nothing. And the funniest thing is, it's 2 hours. I watched it. It's fucking boring. But what that is going to do...
Yeah, dude, it's 2 hours.
You could have watched a bad movie.
I know. Well, I did. I watched Madam Web. I could talk about that too. But
Please don't.
no, it's fine. It's not good. Don't do it. It's
Please,
not
please
funny.
don't talk about Madam Web.
But the fucked part is, like, if I find it this boring, the right-wing shitheads they're trying to appeal to will not make it past the first 5 minutes of this thing because
They don't watch anything
Right.
in its entirety anyway.
Exactly. But now that makes this interview essentially Schrodinger's cat. It could be anything. So now
you don't watch it, right.
these guys can totally go on TV and be like, well, in his interview with Putin, Tucker said this, and they just make shit up because no one's going to watch this fucking thing. So it drops. A couple days later, Tucker comes out with this little, addendum piece where he goes, most people think that Russian grocery stores are still like they were back in the 70s and 80s where there was no products, but there's a lot of products. And then proceeds to do a thing that just tells you more about Tucker Carlson's lifestyle than it does about Russian supermarkets.
Okay.
These are the things he's impressed by. One, bread. He goes in, he's like, wow.
Bread is so cool,
Wow.
dude.
And it's just holding a big loaf of bread and he sniffs it. He goes, Russia's known for their bread.
Are they?
He's like, I think they're known for their bread. I think they're known for bread lines. I don't know. Bread. Bread and
that's I think you just said that right before this. He could just say anything about Russia.
Oh,
the people watching are not going to fucking know.
because no one watches it because fucking...
Yeah, but there's the two other great things. He gets really impressed by, do you know how at Aldi, in order to get a shopping cart, you have to put a quarter in the thing.
Sure.
And then when you put the cart back, it spits your quarter back out. It's a deposit to incentivize not leaving your cart in the parking lot.
Okay.
They have that at a Russian grocery store. Tucker's never bought groceries on his own. He is so impressed by it. He is just like, wow, you put a coin in here, and then
he's impressed by like the most like primitive like machine ever.
Oh yeah, there was that one, and then he has such a shitty comment where he's like, "This is so the carts don't end up in a homeless camp." And you're like, "Fuck
my
off!"
man.
Yeah,
Always.
fuck off, dude. But then the last thing, which was my favorite, is he's like, "Wow, there's an escalator just for grocery carts." And I was like, they have that at fucking Target
Whole Foods,
a mile that way. Like, what are you talking about? So
Well, he's not a guy who can go in public.
yeah,
that is a very good
without
point.
being pelted by
He can only go in public in
vegetables.
like parts of like Arizona.
So yeah, of course he wouldn't know about anything.
like being in the daylight.
Yeah. Also, he could have been totally lying about all that stuff, not even impressed by the thing, just wanting to be like, hey, you know what? America has homeless people, and definitely not Russia.
Right, guys. But then the best is he starts tallying up how much it costs, and he's like, "Wow, you can afford groceries for an entire week for just $109." Which is like, wow, that sounds cheap, until you take into consideration that he didn't bother to, adjust that for how much an average Russian makes in a week. He's just talking about Americans.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, if you work in fucking San Francisco and shop in Moscow, then yeah, it's really fucking cheap.
That's crazy.
That's how foreign economies work. So anyway,
Tucker's out of touch, huh?
he's real out of touch. but
Yeah, when did we lose him? When did it go so wrong?
well, he tricked us. He took the bow tie off to show he was a man of the people with just a
Right.
regular tie.
Damn,
And,
then it went all upside down. He
Yeah,
was so
yeah.
likable.
The bow tie started spinning around. Yeah, so I watched that whole goddamn
You
thing.
really keep up with this stuff. This is like soap opera for you. Like, you're really like
right wing shitheads are. I follow them the way people follow bad sports teams.
okay.
And especially when they're down bad, like Tucker, where you're just
Yeah.
like, boy, how much lower can
Has
this
he
get?
ever not been down bad?
No, he used to have the #1 show on cable, like far and away.
But did that get fucked up when Jon Stewart went on? Was like, you suck.
No, well, that's the thing. It's like he made his name being humiliated on national television.
Yeah.
And then spent the next 15 years building back up to the top of the mountain, being the #1 host on Fox News, getting that Bill O'Reilly spot. And just as a hilarious display of the Murdoch's power, they fired his ass when he was by far the #1 host on the network. So they were basically
they had
just
to because of the lawsuit.
Yeah, exactly. Because they found him, on recording, just being like, "Yeah, I don't really like Donald Trump. He's actually kind of a bad look for us," and shit like that.
It's so funny. That's what he got fired for.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was that among
the election fraud.
Yeah. That was.
He was a big part of that.
That was the big one. Yeah, it was the Dominion lawsuit. lawsuit. It was like, well, we either have to fire this guy or we get sued out of existence. So,
Damn,
but
I wonder what Tucker's up to now.
he works for Elon Musk. That's why Putin
works for Elon Musk.
His show is produced for X. And so that is why Putin agreed to this shit, is because he wants to have an entree with X. He wants to go
to space.
No. No, he just wants Elon Musk to like him because he thinks he's like the master of American media or whatever. And the first step to doing that, he's got a lot of money.
Yeah. I wouldn't call him the master of American media. He's just this weird dude who's like
that's what
kind of evil, kind of on the spectrum. Like
I bet a lot of people barely know who he is. If you don't spend a lot of time online, it'd be pretty easy not
if you're
to know
like
who
normal.
the fuck he is.
Well, I ain't normal and neither is Vladdy, so but that's why he agreed to it.
Yeah, that's what you two have in common.
Yeah. And a lot of like topless horse pics.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, join the Discord. I'll post some of my topless horse pics. But yeah, that was the whole thing. That was the whole reason he agreed to talk to Tucker, is because he produces his content exclusively for
Elon Musk.
Twitter now, or X. Yeah.
X.
So, but that's how far he fell. And it's so funny because they're always hyping up his numbers. He goes, I used to have this many people watching on Fox News, and just last week I had 2 million impressions. I'm like, that's just people scrolling past your shit, dude. That is not the same as watching it. So,
well, no one who watches him knows or cares.
Yeah, they're just like, it's the same with all the weird shit on your For You page where you're just like dudes with chainsaws making art out of trees. And you're like, what the fuck did this get in here?
Somehow I got on a guy who walks around his neighborhood and just sees if he could pick up cats.
That's so weird.
It's kind of great.
so strange.
He'll see a cat and he's like, oh, there's a little ginger cat.
Does that guy have 1 billion followers?
Oh yeah.
Is he like sponsored by like Colgate or something?
It's one of those where it's been reposted from TikTok. So if I want to see new cat stuff, I have to go to TikTok. And he's got
crazy.
So many. But that's his thing. Apparently he lives in this town where there's just 5 bazillion cats, and he just walks up. He goes, I wonder if this one's gonna let me pick her up.
It's so weird that people watch it. It's like those what are those things where people just like say things over and over? They're like NPCs.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's like the weird. That gives me the chills.
It's
I'm
creepy.
like, what the fuck is happening?
I was watching this kid who was doing Miles Morales.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah,
and I was watching for a while, and then occasionally he'll break character and be like, I got a baby on the way. and it's like, this is your job. You're doing fucking backflips in your backyard on camera for like 50 cents
totally
a pop.
ruins the illusion.
Yeah, and it's just like, this is crazy. And then they talk, and they're like, I really believe I could be like the next one and all this shit. It's weird. And then they'll just go right back into pretending to be like a robot.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's incredibly like profitable.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. Just people they look like robots. They're just like saying the same thing over and over.
I think there is a sick joy you can get out of paying amount of money and just being like, that's what you do, monkey.
Yeah.
What you do,
Dude,
monkey.
say the catchphrase.
Yeah.
You're like, yes. I'm so fucking sad inside.
I wonder. I've mentioned this guy before. When I first moved to California, I lived in San Francisco briefly, and there was a guy who would just go to open mics and would just do like all of the Family Guy characters, and he would fucking destroy. It was the most depressing thing.
Their like catchphrases.
He would go up and be like, "What if Peter Griffin was at a McDonald's?" And then would just say something as Peter Griffin. And I just remember all the comics were like, God fucking damn it, because he would just murder.
Really?
Like people were like, ha ha, like the clapping
Sounds like
seals.
he's funny.
Yeah, this guy sounds great.
Well, and-
is he on IG? Can I look him up?
Well, he went viral later for doing like a rap as Peter Griffin.
I see.
And
That
now
sounds good.
Yeah, this is gold.
But now I have to imagine that's got to be what he's doing now. He's just like, does anyone want to hear Brian? I'll do Brian.
People do want to hear it.
Yeah, I always want to hear Brian. I mean, I bet he's very rich.
Speaking of Brian, I
Yeah.
did watch the Run DMC documentary and did notice that Tom Morello has the same voice as Brian the dog from Family Guy. So just watch that doc. Back me up. I'm right.
That's part of the documentaries. They're like, he's like the Family Guy.
no,
dog.
I was
Side note from the Run DMC thing.
No, I was
Slight detour.
I was watching
watch Family Guy?
I was watching on my phone. I was washing dishes and I had my phone like faced away from me,
Yeah.
but I was listening on my headphones. And then they were talking about Run DMC and it was 50 Cent being like they were very inspirational or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just heard like what I thought was Seth MacFarlane, and I was like, "What is Seth MacFarlane doing in the Run DMC fucking documentary?" And then I turned the phone around; it was Tom Morello. I was like, "Jesus Christ, they have the same voice." So,
Wow.
it was
That's
a thing.
cool.
So that,
alarming.
Alarming.
Absolutely.
Nothing
terrifying.
but unsettling at best.
yeah. So that's the news from Russia with love.
We should go over there and do a live podcast.
Yeah.
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 Well, no,
That'd be cool. We do it from the prison we get sent to. We're there for 2 years.
Putin would be a guest.
Yeah.
People would believe we're the number one podcast in America.
Big
they don't
fan
know.
of the show. Putin is going to be on.
It's one of those things. It's like a guest we couldn't turn down.
We just do
even though it would be evil and bad. We can't turn down Putin.
Dude, this is the biggest get. This is,
Yeah,
we're
it
so
would be.
close to a MeUndies sponsorship.
Even though no one watched the Tucker Carlson one, they'll watch us.
Yeah, no. We should just do like a Kill Tony for Russian prison.
Oh, dude, that'd be good. They probably got some funny guys in there.
Oh, man.
The king.
About the most nervous I've ever been was when I got a phone call that Run DMC wants you to play on their record, Down with the King. These were heroes of mine and so influential to me. They were changing and evolving with the times, but there was a quintessential Run DMC point of view in the music.
Yellow model chick, yellow bottle shipping, yellow Lamborghini, yellow job mission. Yeah, that sure looks like a toupee. I get what you get in 10 years, in 2 days. Lois loves me, I'm on my cool J. If you get what I get, what would you say? Look at me now, look at me now. Oh, I'm getting paper. Look at me now, look at me now. Fresher than a mother. Oh.
We have a segment on this show called Hometown, where we talk to our guests about where they came from and
Sleep till!
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
motherfucking
Both of us aren't wearing
here.
headphones.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, baby.
Rivers to do a very
Yeah.
cheesy audio
Sounded-
drop that we both missed out on.
It sounds like someone's in your closet whispering Beastie Boys.
Hey,
Rivers,
bud,
you
what?
got to get on board with the no headphones
Yeah, dude.
thing.
No headphone gang.
You got to
keep
get on
it
board
on.
with the bad musical drop ending thing. We're on video now, baby. That don't matter.
You could have just sang it.
Yeah. I should. Yeah, let's do it again.
No sleep till!
I'm from Brooklyn.
Fuck it.
That's where
Yeah.
I grew up.
You know,
Brooklyn
when you
High
think
School.
about home, you think about that song.
Yeah, that one song.
Everybody growing up was like, listen to the song about where
Yeah.
we're from.
Even
one
before
more
it was
time.
recorded. People would be like, no sleep till Brooklyn. Actually, Adam Yacht has a park named after him that was like a block from my house.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
MCA,
That was-
baby.
Yeah.
That fucking owns, man.
Do you ever go there and rap?
I would go
your
there
friends.
and
Do
go there
ciphers.
and just fucking spit hot fire. No, me and my friends would go there and we would just get destroyed in like basketball from these kids from like a Muslim community down the street.
Oh, yeah?
It's like
Nice.
every time getting bodied. It was horrible.
Damn. So what part of Brooklyn are you from? Because it's a big
Brooklyn
place.
Heights is when you get off the Brooklyn Bridge. It's right there.
Just south of the
Just south. So it's by
Brooklyn
like
Bridge.
Dumbo and Park Slope. It's like in the middle of those two.
course.
Yeah.
I went to St. Anne's, which was like a school for the gifted.
Oh, fun.
You're a
Yeah.
smart guy.
I think that whole
over
thing was a
here.
scam.
Yeah,
It was like some of the
yeah.
people I'm like, you're not gifted. It was just a thing where it's like, let's get your parents to pay so much fucking money.
Yeah.
I've had a theory about those gifted and talented programs for a while.
Your son has to take a test, then you slide us an envelope, and we like grade the test.
Oh, looks like he passed.
He's so smart.
Two sketchy guys in an office they rented, run away with your money.
It was two Slovakian guys.
yeah. Guy's eyes turn straight.
Yeah.
Just like, wait a minute. Schools
But-
for the
so I went.
gifted.
I went there and Brooklyn up till high school, and some of the questions I was looking at, and I think most of those questions are better suited for
where you
I
went
went
to high
I went to the suburbs in like Westchester.
How did you end up
yeah.
going to the suburban high school?
It's very weird. My parents always side skirted the question, so me and my brother are not really sure.
Racism.
General hints of racism. What we think it probably had something to do with 9/11 because like that was around the time that 9/11 happened. So we were like, that's what me and brother were like. Best guess 9/11.
so
They're scared of another attack
I
on
don't
your
know.
school specifically.
I guess.
close enough to lower Manhattan that they were like,
Yeah, it was across the Hudson River.
Right,
So
right.
It was like we were very far far away from it.
Convenient excuse for racism.
Jesus. So what was the
so I
suburb?
Hey, my mom switched me schools for reasons unknown, and I later came out to find the truth.
That had anything to do with the neighborhood?
Yeah,
Not being
100%.
consistent in a certain aspect.
I think 100% that's what it had to do with.
Brooklyn Heights is like pretty nice though, right?
There is a very distinct line that is like other side of the track.
Because I looked it up. I was like, I found Truman Capote used to live there. Paul
Yeah.
Bettany, Jennifer Connelly.
He was going to bring that up.
Yeah, that was my
Lena
childhood best
Dunham.
friend.
Yeah,
Truman Capote.
It's Truman Capote. Yeah.
But Brooklyn Heights was like gentrified before that was like a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So there's this place called like the Fulton Street Mall, and like from there to like Dumbo, that was all like gentrified in like the late 80s.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a very clear like line.
Yeah.
Where it's like you go to the Fulton Street Mall, it's across the street from this cross section, and it's like that is a low income neighborhood.
Well, yeah. What was the
Where
suburb?
was Truman Capote from?
Yeah.
Our dreams.
You were definitely going to talk about that.
Yeah, Truman Capote, of course.
Well,
His address.
He's from
was
Alabama, obviously,
Yeah.
and lived in New York City. Though.
the Alabama of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Thank God we found a reason to bring up Truman Capote on this podcast.
I thought that's what this was about. This podcast. This is Truman Capote
Got
fan.
to. In cold blood, man. Very
Yeah.
influential.
Yeah, dude.
Breakfast at Tiffany's? Get out of here.
I definitely know he wrote those books. For
Can we
sure.
drink another energy drink now?
Another energy drink by Truman Capote.
Oh, dude, he'd have a really shitty one, I bet. Just he doesn't seem like the guy to put out a good energy drink.
Yeah, it'd have
you
a
know,
sad
If
name.
I'm being honest, I don't know any shit about
I was
him.
gonna say, I think his energy drink was just several old fashions.
Yeah. Just tears.
That'll get you going.
Yeah, dude. Be hyped.
What was the suburb though? That you
Suburb, it was in Westchester. It was called Hastings-on-Hudson.
HOH.
HOH. That is.
And
the
was
acronym.
it HOH High School? HOH-HS?
No, it was just Hastings High School.
Oh, okay, right on.
Yeah.
And what was that place like versus Brooklyn
Fucking
Heights?
suburban as shit. Like we
Yeah.
drank in the woods.
Hell yeah.
We drove everywhere. Everyone knew everyone. And it was close to Yonkers for like.
Oh, okay.
sake,
So
but-
wait, did you live down there, or you just went to school down there and ended
No,
up
we
hanging
moved.
out?
We should have moved to the suburbs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I get you.
Yeah. We opened up shop.
Fuck yeah.
And like, still don't know why. It's like gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I'm not asking my dad.
Yeah.
Was your dad involved in the mob?
He was heavily. That's interesting you bring that up. Maybe.
Well, yeah, let's talk about HOHHS. First question. What was the incident?
Got all these notes, man.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can have an incident for an area like Brooklyn.
Well,
And I was going to be like
in a
9/11.
Yeah,
that's honestly
that
the
was
best answer.
the incident. Like that, and like there. Yeah. No, I don't know. Rezoning
the
laws.
Beastie Boys Park opening up.
Yeah.
That wasn't really an incident as much as something that was cool.
Yeah. Biggie died. That was a big
And
one.
then they came out with Biggie Fries.
Biggie fries. Then, with his famous song, what was it, Juicy Dreams?
Yeah, Juicy Breeze.
So there was one thing that happened. Okay, so this kid was making meth in school and then hiding the equipment like in the theater.
Okay.
And then like I guess going after school was closed to continue to make meth.
He
And
turned the theater into a meth lab.
he would hide his stuff. He would do it in the lab,
Okay.
biology, chemistry lab.
Holy shit.
But then I remember being told that in high school and then watching Breaking Bad and being like, there's no way this kid was doing like that's a huge operation.
Yeah.
Like making meth seems like you can't just like do it in a school and then like with shit that's already in the school.
Well, you can't do it on Breaking Bad level.
Yeah.
No, but like early
You can
when
make
they're
a
in the Camaro.
You can make a little.
Early Breaking Bad.
Oh, people make it in cars all
Like,
the time.
really? Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
People made it in a homeless camp down there.
Yeah.
That I could
Exploded
see.
pretty
And
good.
it exploded
A guy's neck off.
Yeah.
pretty well.
Yeah.
That is so sick. But
Kids, don't do it. I'm
Yeah.
glad we have
Yeah.
the video now.
Yeah,
meth is bad. Don't make it. Don't do it.
Don't make it. It's dangerous,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, there was a rent by the hour hotel in my hometown that they had to close down because most of the rooms were meth labs.
Probably other stuff.
Well, no, that's how you know America's going to shit, because it used to be all sex workers and now it's all meth labs. Times have changed.
Now you have
By the hour, but usually a brothel.
Yeah. No, this is just a guy with a fucking grocery bag full of red match heads and a bunch of chlorine.
There was this other incident that was kind of.
What happened to the kid who made meth?
I have no idea. He got suspended.
He became the coolest kid.
Yeah, he's
fucking Brooklyn. What do you mean?
He's the coolest person ever.
I'm the one who rings the bell for first period.
I have no idea. He got suspended or expelled. And then just people said, then went to college and stopped caring about high school.
Damn.
He probably made a bunch of meth.
Yeah. He's probably still doing it.
But there's this other thing that I was thinking of. There's a hometown legend question. This kind of dips in that, but I have another one for that.
Okay.
Somebody robbed our convenience store, who was captain of the football team person. So there was a Metro North train right by our high school.
Yeah.
So he timed it. So he went, robbed the store, got onto the train. The train immediately left. He went to Yonkers and he was like, fucking the perfect crime. that was our Ocean's 11.
I was gonna say that's like some Butch and Sundance kid, having to check track times. That's Wild West, dude.
It was he probably got $50 from this convenience store called Mataba's.
Got him. Fucking got him, dude.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then he went back and bought stuff with the money he stole.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You look familiar.
Yeah, he tried to return a bunch of cigarettes.
These are Vantage. I don't like Vantage. Bring me the Parliament.
But yeah, that was it for Scandal. It wasn't. I feel like other people have cooler stories.
No, those are great. Meth Lab in the theater is pretty fucking
great.
What
we've learned from this segment is don't try to have the coolest story, because the people from the most boring places are always like, no, I gotta dig into something. There's a guy who used a skateboard to hit a rock like a baseball bat and it broke a window.
Yeah, it just gets sadder the more you start digging. There's one guy, he crowded super loud and got kicked out of a movie theater. Huge deal.
Question 2, local legend.
Okay, so there was
so many.
Truman Capote. Jennifer Connelly.
Truman Capote.
Jennifer Connelly.
Is the only answer I will give you.
She's a local legend. I'm telling you.
There was this guy at a pizza shop that was in a neighboring town. First of all, he had one eye was cross.
But if you give him money, it straightens up.
Yeah, once you give him money in Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a cop.
Yeah.
But he was busted for making counterfeit money.
Love it.
Which was why that I remember being that is the highest level crime I've ever been in close proximity to.
Yeah.
Which is also weird because I'm he has no depth perception. He only has one eye to
Jesus.
make the money.
Serial numbers are slightly out of focus. And shit.
Yeah. But I bought pizza from him and shit. I was looking back, I'm that guy was always super stressed. Which I understand if you're trying to make perfect looking money.
Yeah. So he was slowly feeding it into the outgoing cash at the pizza place.
I guess. Yeah. I don't even know the logistics of it, but
fuck, that's
how do you even make counterfeit money? I'm what the fuck?
Well, you got to buy certain chemicals that need constant refrigeration, and you also need a certain type of press.
Of course. Yeah, you know a lot about
cloth paper. Yeah.
River's just seen a movie or two.
Yeah.
What's under your bed right now?
Seen a movie or two,
bunch of half-finished dollar bills.
Yeah. Plates, metal plates with engravings.
There was also this kid who I was good friends with. So he hacked MySpace. This was in the beginning of computer science. Mm-hmm. He hacked MySpace and had a thing. So when this band, every time you would give money to the band, 3% would go to his bank account.
Ooh, whoa. Like the Office Space scam.
Yeah. So he did that. He later ended up working for the CIA and did cybersecurity for Bank of America.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So it's literally Catch Me If You Can.
Very low level.
Very low level. Yeah. I actually just read a story about that. Some guy in Denmark had some sort of Spotify scam where it was repeating on some specific artist, and he defrauded a bunch of money. And it was funny reading it because you're you're the one guy who made money on Spotify and it was fake. Like half my friends have fucking records on there. They get 2 cents for an entire year
royalty.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't even have them on there, right? Spotify removed.
Oh yeah,
all
that's
the
right.
comedy
They pulled all the comedy records, or a lot of them.
because they had to pay them more.
Yeah.
Slightly more.
I didn't know that, but
No one listened to comedy on Spotify anyway, so we're good.
Sometimes
no
I
major
listen to
loss,
albums.
I think.
Yeah, but mostly like I just watch the YouTube specials.
Yeah, I mean that's the way
Yeah.
to go now.
Yeah.
Give YouTube our money.
But also I think I was a bit of a local legend.
Yeah, I think you were too.
Bit. I had a fake ID. I was one of the few people who had a fake ID, and the kid
you're
made
the
me
guy.
a fake ID.
Oh.
The CIA kid.
Yeah.
He made me a fake ID.
Damn.
So
I
I
would-
had to get him off the streets.
I joined up. I'm like, this guy knows what's up.
I just love how much of New York City is just scams.
It's mostly scams.
It's amazing. Yeah.
But I would buy like the cheapest vodka, and I would put it into like seltzer bottles, and I would sell it to people. I'm like, this is like Grey Goose, and I would sell it like marked up.
Oh, shit.
And I got life of the party. I went home early every night. I always went home, but like I supplied the entire school with alcohol.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
That is legend.
It was,
status.
I was
yeah.
a fucking legend. Dude.
You're
I peaked.
moonshining.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, exactly.
Fucking Jesse James over here with the Popov or
Yeah.
Svedka or Mr. Boston.
Yeah, just going through Prohibition, like Westchester.
We had Aristocrat. That was the off-brand shit vodka where I grew up,
Aristocrat,
and it tasted
Yeah.
just like cleaning fluid
we had
smells. It was
Cossack.
Skull. We'd go
Skull. That sounds familiar.
Skull, like the
SKOAL.
so it was like the chewing tobacco.
Yeah, isn't that also chewing tobacco?
I think so, but it's
They
just,
branched out as a company.
Yeah.
They were like,
maybe it's SKOLE. I don't know. Anyways, it's rubbing alcohol in the form of drinkable liquid.
That was Aristocrat. You knew Aristocrat was fucked because they made rum, vodka, tequila. Like they made all the hard alcohols. And you're like, you can't be good at more than one
yeah,
of these.
it's always the most disgusting shit.
Yeah.
Well, usually that just means it's like corn liquor that's flavored.
Or just like weird chemicals. But like when you're that young, like it all is fine.
Yeah, it'll do the trick.
Yeah.
You're gonna pour it in a cooler with a bunch of Hawaiian Punch and Everclear anyway.
Right.
so.
Or just drink it out of the bottle because
Yeah.
you're like depraved.
Yeah, because you don't know. You're like, I think this is how alcohol works, right? This is a shot. While you're chugging cheap vodka out of a Perrier bottle.
You gotta drink the whole handle. This is how adults do it.
Speaking of booze, question 3: worst bar. And keep in mind, I always
So-
say worst bar. That could mean best. All my favorite places are dumps.
In the suburbs where we were, there was like no bars.
Okay,
But we like drank in the woods. Like that
Yeah.
was our bars.
same,
Hell yeah.
same.
We had like there's one place called the Pad, PADJ. It was named after the kids that like founded it. like did a school
Stand
folklore
for something.
Yeah, it was like Peter, Adam,
David James,
Jared, like whatever.
Padge,
Yeah.
the Padge.
And then there was a place called the Chimney where it was like both of those places were like in the middle of the woods. The Chimney, there was just like a chimney there.
Right, a house
like a
that
house
burned
burnt
down.
down.
Hell
And
yes.
all that was left was a chimney. Those were our bars.
Yeah.
Fuck
Those
yeah.
places were dope.
I love that. Have you gone back there as an adult at any
No,
point?
man, that'd be so sad. I don't think I can bring myself to go back to where I used to
Yeah.
drink as a high schooler.
Well, my thing is,
man, good time.
good times here,
Good
man.
time.
Dude, I was the coolest.
well, I have
a friend who would do that, unfortunately.
Oh my god,
I have a bit of a
So
unique.
sad.
I have a bit of a unique situation in my hometown where the woods where we used to drink are now
Drank.
Drank.
The woods where we used to drink.
Where I
I'm
did don't
from-
drink.
I'm from Alabama, by the way.
That spot where we drank at are now factories, like light industrial factories.
Whoa.
And so you
That
can
is-
just drive by and you're like, wow, it was right there.
Drank in that factory.
Yeah.
In that functioning
and
factory.
they have no fucking
I
idea.
got no idea, man.
Ours was called Sofa Lake. Because there was a runoff pond behind. There were some factories, some woods, and then a runoff pond. And
Was it a sofa factory?
So I grew up in a college town, and right at graduation, all of the college kids would move their sofas out to the dumpster. And we were in high school, so we found this cool lake to drink at. We were like, we should get some seats out here. So my friend had a pickup truck. We drove a bunch of sofas back there, and it was Sofa Lake, and we would hang out.
In my head, there's like sofas in the lake that becomes drinking water. And I'm like,
we need some lake sofas.
It's like a dam.
Yeah. Well, we made Sofa Lake, and then we found out later that a bunch of the factories that were getting built in the area, the construction workers would go back there. So sometimes we'd pull in, and there'd be a bunch of dudes already getting fucked up back there that were like adults. We're just like, hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up, dude?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's what I fear. It's like going back, old people being like, man, you used to go here too? That is so fucking kick-ass.
There's a spot around the corner from here at the local Mickey D's, and that's some people's bar. Like, there, like, no lie, there is like 10 to 20 people hanging out at any given time.
Usually around a pickup truck.
There's a couple parked pickup trucks, and if we went there now, there'd be motherfuckers hanging out in the parking lot.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's like middle America shit.
That's we can't afford a bar / we all hate our families and can't go home.
This is just easier, y'all.
I went hiking in my hometown in this big wooded area, and we found this dam that had been demolished, but at one point it was the reservoir for the city, and we figured out pretty much exactly the last time people used to party there, because painted on the dam in huge letters it just said Pearl Jam. I was like, yo, 91, man.
That is so funny.
Had to be 91. There was also a graffiti that said pussy is scrumptious.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Those are two excellent pieces of art you have there. Sick, dude.
I just imagined a teacher, seeing that and being like, look, I'm glad you're using your vocabulary words, but please don't.
Or her being like, I had no idea my students were this fucking awesome.
Yeah. Then she skateboards down the dam.
Does a kickflip.
Hell yeah.
There was also a bar called Candlelight Inn. And it was a restaurant. Everyone would go there for drunk food. They had the best fucking wings.
Oh, hell
ever.
yeah.
Okay.
And I got like fully like addicted to them, and I was eating them like 4 or 5 times a week. I eventually got told that I had the blood pressure of a 55-year-old man, and my dad getting so mad.
Oh,
and
God.
the second the doctor told me that, I'm like, it's the wings. It's got to be the wings, man.
I know. I've just been consuming 5,000 milligrams of salt every weekend for the past year.
Yeah, literally. Like, most people just go on the weekends. I was like, nah, those are rookie numbers. You gotta hit those up during the week, man.
Well, that might probably tie into the fourth question. Best local food. Was it the wings?
The wings were fucking the best, man.
Might have to be. I mean, if you almost killed yourself, that seems like it's got to be the answer.
There was also a place called Amjo's. It was like a bodega where they had like hot food and then like make sandwiches. They would do the move there was pesto mozzarella on a hero.
Oh,
shit
that
slapped.
sounds
It was
so good.
Wait,
so
is there any
fucking good.
meat, or was it just like...
I mean, they had meat there.
Yeah.
But no,
That's
just
like
straight
the
up.
ultimate grilled cheese sandwich, basically.
Just like, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
I
just
want that now.
carbs and bread.
Yeah.
Salt.
Yes.
That was dope.
Question 5. Local ghosts or monsters?
So there were no ghosts.
Truman
Capote.
Well, I believe-
followed me from Brooklyn to the
Albert
suburbs.
Fish, I think, was a Brooklyn guy, right? He was a serial killer.
There was no
It
ghosts.
wasn't. That's not real.
Albert Fish? Yeah,
Who's
dude.
Albert Fish?
Albert Fish was like a child killer in the early 1900s, and he would stick pins in his wiener. Albert Fish
didn't run into that guy.
he was early 1900s, but yeah, he was real into.
so wild.
Yeah, he's one of the most. I think he's after H.H. Holmes. I think he's considered kind of the second famous American serial killer, but I believe he was a
that's
Brooklyn
horrifying.
guy. Yeah, he's fucked up. But anyway, who do you got?
We didn't have ghosts. I did write down though that like the only thing we were afraid of like late at night in parties was like cops breaking up the party.
Oh, sure,
Like,
yeah,
that was kind of
That's a monster. That's a pig
that
monster.
yeah.
Yeah.
The,
Blue Beast.
the blue beast fucking fuck cops, dude.
Hell yeah.
But once they chased us out of the woods and into a place called Children's Village, which was a juvenile detention center that DMX went to.
Wait, was it like abandoned or just like
No, it's fully functioning. It was like adjacent. It was on the other side of the woods. So we all went through there. And
so the cops chased you into a jail?
Yeah. It was just like a
These kids
gaggle
are
of white
stupid as
kids.
fuck.
Yeah. We just had to go through this detention center. Like just a squad of whites.
Sorry, guys.
Did you really pass through the property?
You had to go through the property and the other side through the entrance.
Then you made it away from the cops, though?
Yeah, I mean,
Good job.
yeah, dude.
Props, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, fuck yeah.
I'm on the run, y'all.
Hell yeah.
Still looking for you.
Yeah,
Local legend me.
Outlaw.
I got warrants.
I got priors.
Last question. Favorite thing that's not there anymore?
Truman Capote.
Truman Capote and that
man.
weird serial killer you described. Needle dick.
Albert Fish, yeah, literally.
Good old needle
Yeah,
dick.
needle dick, but not in the way you think. Literally.
In the suburbs, it's all the same. No one genderfies the suburbs. But in Brooklyn, there are places that I'm like have been like destroyed by like gentrification or like mostly like COVID and shit. Like Joe Jr.'s was like the best diner ever.
It sounds the name.
Yeah,
rules.
doesn't it like
Yeah.
invoke like happiness?
Oh, yeah. I know exactly
Yeah.
what it smells like. It's got a patty melt that can't
Dude,
be
it was
beat.
so good.
Yeah.
And this place, I just found out from talking to my dad, like asking him questions about this. He just told me it closed. This place called Spain. It was like a very cheap tapas bar, and you would get like an $18 pitcher, and then they would just give you like free tapas, like just all the food. And I took 100,000 first dates there. Like I took so many first dates there. My dad told me that today, and I was like, "No, that place is an institution." That place, like, they should have hung my like jersey up in the rafters.
Yeah, well, did you take that many dates there because you ate so many tapas? They're just like not a second date. And then every time you meet her, you're like, I got this great excuse to go
Can
to
we
the
just
tapas.
get Spanish potatoes now?
The red wine short rib.
I got cool meatballs, man.
The fucking arugula in this,
Yeah.
dude? The arugula?
Oh, God. I need an excuse. I'm so hungry. Come on, go out with me.
Asking out girls you don't even like.
Oh, man. Well, that is a tour of Max Fox's Brooklyn Heights / Hastings-on-Hudson.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like I just went there.
Yeah, I liked
I have been there literally before, but I feel like I just went there. again.
emotionally and mentally. Yeah.
It's one more night in Brooklyn, and baby, we're getting lost. One more night.
Y'all, we have time for just one more segment, and of course, this is our jam of the week. Oh, we got some fucking disco, everybody. Do y'all know this tune here? Rod Stewart and his song "Do You Think I'm Sexy?" from the album Blondes Have More Fun from 1978. Max, this song has 278 million views, 38,357 comments, and y'all, I read every goddamn last one of them.
Good on. Somebody has to.
Somebody's got to do it. So
You're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah,
I love it.
2 hour
Watching
food,
2 hour food interviews and every comment.
well, I wanted to shout out in the Discord Dr. Shani, who suggested this and did a little bit of the
I thought you were going to say
work.
that's like your therapist who
no.
discourages you from doing this.
We need one of those for Rivers,
Yeah.
though. We've been trying for years.
Dr. Shani found a couple of these for me. And, if you want to hear more about this song and disco crossover music in general, episode 165 of this podcast is all about disco crossover. But let's get down to what the people think. Who cares what we think? First up in the YouTube comments, Dos Feliciano from 2 years ago. Yo, can I get an MP3 of this that I can download?
This was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Old people love them.
I don't know if it's an old person.
Oh, I
Just a
think.
tech illiterate
Yeah,
person.
I mean-
they at least know what an MP3
This
is.
is just a regular dude from Florida.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Yeah, MP3's a little. That's above the belt for like. If an old person knew an MP3, I'd be like shocked.
Yeah.
I'd be so impressed.
Definitely.
I don't know, man. Gen Xers are getting older every day. You never know.
Yeah.
Next up, Tim Valleys from 5 years ago. when this song was popular on the radio, I was banging an average of 3 to 4 different girls a week.
Damn, putting up numbers.
Coming in strong, man.
I was a young, hot-looking construction worker with a 68 Camaro. The good old days. And I was just thinking, I was a hot construction worker. My best friends were a Native American guy, a cop, a cowboy, a leather
I believe.
guy.
That's all he wrote?
Yeah. Good old days.
I believe everything about that,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I bet he's not. No, that is for sure his truth that he's speaking. I love how strong he comes in. Yeah, I was hooking up.
That's what Rod makes me think of here.
Yeah, man.
I'm just glad a lot of ladies are getting some loving.
Yeah, from
That's
this
all I care
distinguished gentleman.
Hot construction worker.
You don't want that to keep going because he is a construction worker, because it would just be like, nowadays you can't even holler at him from your fucking construction site.
He'd pull out a few Tucker Carlson bullet points.
God damn, I've had 3 to 4 chicks a week. Now I get 3 to 4 Medium articles written about me. Fuck. Next up, Noah Patrick from 5 months ago. Who didn't think Rod was sexy? Women wanted Stewart's rod dancing inside of him.
I bet those were the same 2 people.
He forgot to log back in.
So he had to make another account.
Yeah.
He says, he wanted Rod dancing inside of him, and dudes wanted to be Stewart's rod.
Whoa, okay.
Not
Wait a
Rod
minute.
Stewart, specifically his rod.
They want to be his penis.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I was that guy's dick. That'd be so fucking cool. Man. I was that guy's dick.
That's a really low bar for a
Do you know how
dream.
human consciousness works, man?
He says, I'm mind blown that grown-ups actually let me listen to this in my childhood.
Yeah.
I'm still sexy at 51 years old today. Something comes to mind. Were there any babies made to this, and how many? If not on the dance floor, which would be kick-ass to see.
Yeah, man.
It's like literally someone making a baby on the dance
someone
floor.
giving birth on my favorite club. That'd be,
I looked over and the conception was happening.
Yeah.
It was an immaculate
I
conception.
could tell there was no condom involved. Deep, passionate thrust. Baby was made.
I was conceived and delivered at Studio 54.
I like that he said he's surprised that anyone let him listen to this.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just shows how much worse music has gotten.
Oh, yeah. He says sexy.
Yeah.
Grim Calypso from 5 years ago. I wonder if he still plays this live. LOL. That'd be the funniest fucking ever.
What?
And I looked it up. According to setlist.com, Rod Stewart played Do You Think I'm Sexy 72 hours ago at his show in Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
Okay.
So
All right.
still
Good.
plays it. Also, why would he not? It's one of his
I don't
biggest
know,
fucking
man.
songs.
Because he's
They
not
get
sexy
tired.
anymore.
Yeah, 'cause
I think that's the bad joke they were going for.
Probably like clinical depression.
Yeah.
I don't feel very sexy these days.
Well, I started looking at his set list. He doesn't play Ooh La La at every show, but he does play this one. So anyway,
Damn.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
Do you even know what that song is?
I got no damn idea.
Me neither.
You know it if you heard it. Alex Pagan
Ooh La
from
La.
4 years ago. The neighborhood drunk would sing this to every woman walking past the corner liquor store when I was a kid.
He's talking about himself.
I can't believe I survived being a neighborhood drunk for 35 years. Mishi Kiku from 1 year ago. I heard this song in Atlantic City. The song played like 20 times in Bally's Casino. Someone had drugged me with embalming fluid, and this played over and over.
That took such a right.
I know.
This is such a good song. Once I got drugged.
Hit him with the laced blunt. While the Rod Stewart was jamming.
This played over and over while
so
the casino filled up with smoke from hallucinating. I'm 26, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that is
Yeah.
weird.
They're still getting laced up in Jersey. Watch out, everyone. Roll your own shit.
Man, this Rod Stewart song is cool. Oh, it's full of smoke. That's so
Is my face melting right now, by the way?
Dude, time's weird.
Every other tooth hurts. Shanna Kellett from 3 years ago. Yeah, I do think I'm sexy. Reality checking is my shit, you know. Just gotta admit, through all the bullshit mind fuck, there's gotta be a God in heaven. It's a shame. I have to be aware and politically correct. Now this is the
smoked.
construction worker. Is
That guy
continuing.
also hit that laced blunt.
Times have changed, huh? It's sad. And actually, it's, all caps, the most stupid, fucked up bullshit I've ever heard. Damn, no wonder God wants to blow this bitch rock we're living on to smithereens.
You know what's crazy? That same comment is probably under like the Baby Shark YouTube.
Must be cool as fuck to have to sit back and take face slaps like God does for a long time. That's another prime example of doing what badasses do. LOL, stay cool.
You say face slaps?
So what they are saying is that God sits back and lets people abuse his name.
Okay.
They're slapping God in the face, and he just hangs back and he takes it because he's a badass. He's cool.
Yeah, I guess.
God
kind of sounds like a puspushover, man.
I was just thinking that, but maybe maybe we're not thinking about the Lord correctly.
People aren't respecting God.
Yeah.
It seems to be his issue.
Yeah.
I think God needs to respect God first.
Yeah, that's where it starts.
Yeah, brother.
Rashad Thompson from 5 years ago. I know Rod Stewart. Fuck all the bitch and was eating all the women.
My man.
Ooh,
Jesus Christ.
He's eating out every girl.
That guy's having a stroke.
There's a couple like that. This one, Kirk Waltstein from 5 years ago. I nearly my ass kicked for liking disco. I was in middle school when this was new. I nearly got hospitalized just because some people thought I liked it. They painted me and called me Joe Disco.
Hey, Joe Disco, come over here.
You got painted.
I got a bucket for you.
I love a bunch of middle schoolers chasing a kid with paint rollers.
Joe Disco now that we painted you.
This was America in 1978. Fuck them. I still think it sounds better than Ozzy Osbourne, and people who listen to that hated disco.
What an old argument. What a dated fucking
That
argument.
is funny to be like, yeah, I used to get my ass kicked jamming this shit. I didn't even like it, but now I love it.
I trauma bonded with this song.
Yeah, call me Joe Disco. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Fuck you, man. I'm insane.
David C. from 3 years ago, and this is all caps. I'm here at home now, at the home of the NFL Jaguars football team. Love the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Okay.
They should do the boogie woogie for the upcoming Atlanta Falcons game. I want a wife who knows this song in bed. She must know all the words to the song. I will get her the clothing she needs. I prefer that she already knows how to do dance.
He doesn't even know what the video is. The he wrote a comment for it.
She knows how to do dance. The boogie woogie taught by nude men. Sincerely, David P. Kraft.
Why? I love that he's like, yeah, I'm at the home of the Jaguars.
So
right
he's
now.
in Jacksonville.
He's in Jacksonville. Just
having
like,
horny thoughts about
the Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Which is one of those things where when people say they're turned on by that, they are living in the 70s still. If that's their reference for hot women.
That's the hottest woman I've ever seen. Yeah. No one gets any hotter
than the girl who can cheerlead for the Dallas Cowboys.
That's the least amount of clothes I've ever seen a woman wear.
Mary Hartman from 3 months ago. It's so hard to hear this, Jim. In 6th grade, my older cousin would always see us walking around the hood and say, "Girls, you want to ride?" This song is playing. Girls giggling. He would just giggle and shake his head. My cousin was kidnapped and murdered for money. We miss you. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Turning these comment sections into like therapy.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, this is a cool song. Yeah, anyway, I was abducted by...
You know, this pedophile used to come around and try to abduct him.
They killed him.
Yeah, this video of the Teletubbies is sick, but like, my family was never the same after the fire.
Funny Masti from 3 years ago. To all those girls who are out of control after watching this video, call me now.
Yep.
Or message me on WhatsApp, and then he gives a real phone number.
This is how it works, by the way. This is how the girls love this. When you,
he says,
it's when you write your phone number on a bathroom wall
or on a comment section.
He says, especially those girls who are from Punjab or Chandigarh. Hey, and this is urgent. Please contact me, okay? Thanks.
The horniest Indian
contact
man
me on the WhatsApp, please.
Dude, beggars can't be choosers, man. You can't be like, hey, hit me up, but you got to be from this area.
How many other videos is that posted on?
A million.
It's a different ethnicity.
Yeah. And finally, this person is joining our Four Timers Club, Magdalena Cove also appeared on AC/DC's You Shook Me All Night Long, Georgia Satellites, Keep Your Hands to Yourself, and Power Man 5000's When Worlds Collide. So she is a
eclectic fan.
frequent abuser of YouTube
different
comments.
music.
Yeah,
There's a lot of different music.
Well, this is Magdalena Clove from 5 years ago. Rod, you dress very tacky, stupid, ugly fashion. I dress perfect.
Preach, girl.
More money, more perfect, more flawless. Need husband now.
Uh-oh.
To elope. And I'm like, hey, there's a guy in Jacksonville. You guys get together.
She's just talking about how good she's doing.
Yeah.
Need husband now to elope and get married. Then buy me a house and get me a job at the CIA.
Yep.
And I will solve cases.
Ooh.
Move me up, Trump. Give me a better job. I can make things happen. If you want, I'll prove it to you.
Yo.
There is a huge forest fire gunning for Hollywood to burn it down.
Oh, it's the Hollywood.
I'm like,
now I
uh-oh.
understand.
Oh,
I
no.
want to see this girl's vision board because it's very specific.
I think
It's a picture like Mulder and Scully.
the CIA emblem and then Rod Stewart.
I think it's probably just knife carvings on the wall of a home because she continues. There's a huge forest fire gunning for Hollywood to burn it down. Ooh. They have profited off my life and they refuse to pay me any royalties. Hollywood stole my identity, my thoughts, my words, my experiences, and you must know that. Yahweh will fight you over me.
Man, good for her for standing up to
Hollywood.
Yeah, dude. Someone's got to do it.
Oh, there's more.
They stole her thoughts.
Yeah, someone's got to take them down a peg.
Huge fire destroys all movie sets. There's sinkholes, landslides, and ultimately fall in the ocean, and celebrities fall in with the city. Hollywood can be judged now. They've had 5 years to agree with Trump and the CIA and the American government to get me fair compensation of $7 million. Admit you were wrong, Hollywood. Get with Trump and give me the $7 million.
Just you have her info for them to send it to
No, no.
What's your wiring?
Yeah,
number?
consult the Power Man 5000 video to see.
Dude, what's your Venmo?
Were her other comments like this?
Oh yeah, there was one where it was like, "You will all fall to dust and ash." And
That'd be so funny if they weren't.
they're all
just
normal.
Completely
She got hit by, as Sam called it, the government insane ray.
Yeah. The type where you want to support the government, even though you don't seem to trust Hollywood. You know?
Oh,
we can work together, government.
well, y'all, I think we've learned so much about Rod Stewart's Do You Think I'm Sexy? Our jam of the week. Hell yeah.
That is.
Max Fox, where can people find you on the internet?
Check out at Get Real, the podcast, and then my
Fuck
personal
yes.
at MaxFox1. Hit
Definitely.
me up. Get me followers, man.
Gotta check out.
Trying to get a scholarship.
If you like dating shows,
Yeah.
right?
Even if
you're the guy.
I'm the dude.
Honestly,
Hit me
even
up.
if you don't, fucking Andy Erickson and you,
Yeah.
two fucking hilarious people.
Come
Give it a
through.
watch, and you can find dating shows through the podcast.
Yeah, if you want to be on it, we do it.
Yeah, I'll
We have a very easy application process.
hell yeah! All right,
You just ask.
count me in. I'll
Yeah.
watch anything. I watched Babylon again for
Why the movie?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Why? You and these things
Kind of
that
love
suck.
it. I kind of love
He
it.
likes to be like, oh, you know a thing that's bad? Let
Yeah.
me waste my time.
Let me get angrier.
Yeah.
No, it's more just like, I gotta find out what happens. I gotta
Yeah.
dig
Do
through
you?
the dirt.
No one's asking.
Babylon was the most unanimous. This is bad. It
kinda-
bankrupted the studio.
That's cool though.
That is, yeah, it's true.
Freddie Got Fingered did the same thing, and I love
Yeah,
that.
but that was amazing.
Yeah, exactly. But it's kind of the same concept. It's like,
Yeah.
what is it like to watch $14 million
Yeah.
fly out a window in Freddie Got Finger's case?
Sure.
And in this case, it's 200 million. So it's just, an elephant shits on a man within 5 minutes of the movie starting. So,
Oh wow.
yeah. And
good.
shout out
Now I'll watch it.
hilarious comedian JC Carias is driving the truck that the elephant shits on the man. But anyway,
Good for him.
Yeah.
hell yeah. So anyway, check out the Get Real podcast with Max and our dear friend Andy Erickson. Sam, where can people find you on the internet?
Slam Harder on Twitter. Sam Harder 666 on Instagram. Fuck with me.
Hell yeah.
Hail Satan, y'all.
Yeah.
Hail Satan.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Rivers Langley. And on Saturday, the 24th, so if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, this Saturday in Long Beach at 8 p.m., I'm going to be doing stand-up at Wrigley Comedy Chew. That is Steve Torres and friend of the show, Reza Asghari's backyard show down there on San Francisco Avenue. Check out Wrigley Comedy Chew on Facebook for the address because it is a backyard show and supposedly it might be their last one ever. So this should be fun. Friends of the show, Ron Swallow and Anna Valenzuela will both be there doing some stand-up. Sometimes the guy shows up with fudge that he made and sometimes the guy shows up with tamales he made.
Can they not make rent anymore? Why is this show ending?
I think it's because Steve
is the tamale lawsuit.
No, it's Steve's backyard and he's a long-distance truck driver, so I think it's just been harder for them to book it with his schedule. So I believe that's the issue. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen last month and they had to move it to this month. So anyway, come see me down in Long Beach. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Every episode ever, and new clips dropping all the time over at youtube.com/thegoodspod. Buy a shirt, make you look skinny on TV. ProWrestlingTees.com/thegoodspod. Join the Discord. I finally figured out how to make a permanent goddamn link. So go to our link tree /thegoodspod and join the Discord from there.
Please
having
do.
fun all the damn time over there.
And the Patreon. If you're listening to this on fucking audio.
Yeah. So
if this cell phone's still recording.
Yes.
I've been wondering halfway through. I'm like, I don't know
if that this is a cell phone like you said it was.
I know. I wish there was an on light or something. But
we need to put a mirror behind it.
I'll get a little mirror. Yeah, there we go.
Fun contraption.
Perfect. Yeah, it'd be the most like Rube Goldberg ass.
It's like the mouse trap.
Yeah. It'd be a little basket that comes down and drops a marble to turn the camera on.
Balloon pops.
So you get to see this podcast, warts and all, on video at patreon.com/thegoodspod. That is the best way to support our show. Second best way, head to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, Vladimir Putin's going to say you're not a very good journalist. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.